Alright, time for the first video on the new update. I've been recording the last few days trying to get as many videos stocked as possible for the next couple of weeks. And this one is on a random pack. Now I haven't done that for a long time. I used to do this fairly frequently where I would randomize a pack and then try and win without looking at the contents of the pack, which is exactly what we're going to do here. However, something has changed with the pack randomizer. I think it was in one of the previous updates. The randomization process was improved to be not truly random. So it's not really possible anymore to get units that can't be used. So in this instance, I end up getting Pied Tamarin on turn 1. And the fact that the Pied Tamarin is in the pack, I think it pretty much guarantees that there's going to be a unit to generate trumpets. And actually you can see we end up getting Groundhog, and then also there's a Cherry in the shop there. So we're going to take the Cherry now to make sure that we are free to sell the Groundhog if we need to, and the Pied Tamarin is still going to work. Now, there are a couple of changes already from these units in the squad. So Gibbon was nerfed to a 1-2. Probably not really necessary given that it's a customs only pet. Does kind of mean that far fewer people are taking it now, because the vast majority of people in customs do not take the units that have 1 attack. But the Pied Tamarin was buffed as well, so it has a 2-2 stat line instead of a 1-2. So that makes it a bit more attractive, especially in Golden Pack. Now, I take the Mink here because there was a double in the shop. I think I haven't taken a single Mink yet. So we're actually at the point where there's another update to the game coming out, and yet there are still units that I haven't made into videos yet. But what's actually going to happen here is that the Mink is going to be sold fairly soon. So we level the Tamarin into Anubis, and that means the Mink is going to go, or maybe it's going to be the Gibbon first, but the Mink is going to follow soon after. And because Pied Tamarin and Groundhog are both faint units on tier 1, the Anubis is going to work with them immediately. And there we go, we roll another Groundhog. So we have a full team now for Anubis to activate, so we're going to get 3 trumpets plus 2 extra 3 damage snipes. Fairly weak looking 4 squad that we end up facing here anyway. But the low damage Pied Tamarin snipes are really good against this type of team. Although their horse did actually survive the start of battle. So far so good. However, we don't have any new units in the team, and given that this is the first video with the new update, I do want to have at least one unit that I've never had access to before. So I think I'm going to take a second Tamarin, put Pineapple on it as well. Because we're doubling up the value, that Pineapple is worth a lot more than it would be otherwise. Now there is the Mara here. I have used that in a video before on the test server. I was actually pausing here because I was wondering what's going to happen if you have Anubis activate the Mara when there's no space on the team. Does that mean that the Retriever tries to come in and then just flies off screen because there's no space? Let me know in the comments if you've tried that. At some point I will get around to trying it myself. But yeah, it would be nice to know if that doesn't work. Instead of, here in this situation I wasn't willing to throw the run just to find out. So now we can take the Groundhog level up, I think. There is Vaquita as well. You can see that I'm noticing the fact that there happen to be trumpet pets on every tier, or at least there seem to be so far. So we get offered the Retriever, but I think I would rather take another Anubis. And then we'll just keep browsing for more faint pets. And given that we don't really have any use for any of the other perks we've seen so far, we'll go with a Potato to protect the backline Anubis. We don't really want the backline units being sniped so that the Tamarins can't go off after the first iteration. Yeah, makes a bit of a mess of this Mantis team. Although I think their lineup was a little bit strange anyway, where they end up giving Melon to this brown Thor goat. So yeah, I rewatched that last battle because I was a bit confused about what happened, but the turtle had 5 health and it got double hit by the Tamarin. So that was what happened there. So we freeze the Flea in case we manage to get the level up on the Anubis, but I think actually I'm just going to combine them anyway. we have 3 hearts. We're looking pretty good as long as we can get the level up. And then I'm just going to buy the pair since we don't know if there's going to be better stat food down the line. I've faced this team a few times. They have the baguette, although I think it's going to remove the cherry, which doesn't do anything because cherry has actually been changed to be before battle. Actually, I guess if it was start of battle, the baguette wouldn't do anything either. But yeah, that is a nice improvement for cherry because it means you can't lose the cherry due to weakness. Or any other ailment, I guess. So yeah, I just want the level up on the Anubis. I think I'm going to freeze this Nyala. Again, we're seeing the trend that there is a trumpet pet on every tier. So I can take the level up on Anubis. It's not going to work on the Nyala yet, but I think I could just, yeah, I think I'm going to combine the Tamarins and then take the double flea. Probably having the combined Tamarins works out better here anyway because of the pineapple. And big statted owl team with rabbit. Despite the update, there's still a lot of people doing the same stuff that they were doing before the changes. I don't know if this particular person was one of them or not, but yeah, you do still see a lot of owl teams. But the flea did amazing stuff there. And then we end up leveling into Markor, which is one of the new trumpet units. And the way it works is it spends 4 trumpets and then it spreads 1/1 buffs across 4 friends. Now, it's a little bit of a strange wording, but essentially what it means is if the Markor faints and there's only 1 friend left, it's going to give all the buffs to 1 unit. But the more units you have, the more spread out the buffs are going to be. So what I decided to do here is just take the Nyala to make sure we have the trumpet secured to be able to actually use the Markor ability. With the Groundhog, we don't have enough. But I also don't want to lose the start of battle Tamarin snipes. So we're going to try and get Anubis to level 3 as soon as we can. And then that will give us the freedom to be able to bring in the new unit. And here we end up getting lucky. They only had 1 trumpet left on the retriever there, so we ended up knocking them out. And I'm going to freeze another Markor. I think I will freeze it, yep. And we get the level up on the Anubis. So now we can just sell Groundhog. We level into another Markor, which is incredible. And then look at this roll. Just an absolute dream shop. Opposing Nyala. Nyala is one of the most commonly seen units in customs. And I think given the range of different trumpet units that are available now, it's probably going to be pretty common going forwards. Yeah, you can see there that there were only 2 units left behind the Markor there, so the buffs end up getting doubled up onto them. And look at this. Incredible level up into another Markor and then rolling double chocolate. So we get everything we could have possibly asked for. We can get the level 3 Markor next turn if we want to. And then the flea again is going to do incredible stuff. Anubis plus the ailment pets is just so good. Normally it's Frostwolf that you see most commonly, but flea as well is incredibly strong. And yeah, the double farmer dog plus chimpanzee isn't going to be good enough. So that puts us on 9, and it's turn 13 with 3 hearts intact, so we're feeling extremely strong for this stage of the game. Despite the fact that we have a pied Tamarin with pineapple on our squad, we take the level up. It's the first time I've ever had a Markor on the squad and it becomes a level 3. Now this could be a problem. Very large scale team with level 2 Komodo and level 2 Husky. I actually haven't seen this person's name before, and I think it's going to be, yeah, our team is going to be a little bit too memeish to be able to beat this squad. Yeah. That looks like a bit of a high roll if you ask me. And I don't think they had any equipment, so our flea didn't quite do as much damage as it could have done. We take the level up on the Nyala to make sure we've got plenty of spare trumpets. And this team looks significantly weaker than the last one. They do have a bunch of equipment, but the flea is going to take care of that. The Tamarin does a bit of extra damage because of the weakness. Nyala stocks us up with 27 trumpets. We get tons of stats from the Markor, and the Tamarin isn't going to be able to knock anything out, but the doggo is. So there we go, a 10-win, no-look random pack, and we get an achievement to boot. Now I'm quickly going to go into the replay mode to just show you the contents of the pack, and it is interesting to note the way that it now evenly spreads the trumpet units across the tiers. So I'm going to have to keep my eye out for that if I play some more random games and see how well the randomizer does in making sure it's possible to use everything.